What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. As you come in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Just a growing channel. Just need the effort, need that support. So today I want to talk about why strong men don't need to act tough. Why strong men don't need to act tough. And I got 5 reasons why. Number one, strong men don't have anything to prove. Confidence comes from competence. It comes from proving yourself over and over, setting those milestones, setting those goals. And when you achieve those, you prove to yourself that you are worthy, that you are strong. And that way, nobody has to tell you that you're strong, that you're able, that you're powerful, and all those things, right? They don't seek validation. No matter what people say about you, good or bad, they can talk. They can call you a loser. They can call you trash. They can call you the greatest human of all time. But if you don't believe that in yourself, then it don't matter. You ever been like let down by someone or somebody let you down? Like say for instance, it's this person that you put so much faith and trust and just gave them the best confirmations within for their self-esteem and told them that they're great and they can do this and that. Then that person goes out and they lose and they let you down. That person didn't internalize the things that you put into them. They have to believe that within themselves. Even speaking for ourselves, people, positive people, they come into our life and they do the same thing. But if those things don't really absorb into your head, if you don't have that on your own confidence within yourself, then it don't matter. Another thing about strong men, they don't carry around a prove it mindset. What I call something like the underdog mindset. So I know we talk about the underdog, and it's not always a bad thing. In some ways, it's good to see yourself as an underdog. We see the movie like Rudy or just, these motivational movies where the guy, he comes from like these unfortunate circumstances and he goes up against more powerful people and he overcomes. It's great. It's great. Problem with the underdog mindset is that, yes, you're looking at people as superior than you. You're looking at them as having more resources or whatever than you have. That's the issue, because you walk into those situations having to prove something all the time, overcompensating all the time, fighting every battle, which is exhausting for your own energy, exhausting for people to even be around you. We have to grow out of the so-called underdog mindset and look at yourself as, you can call it a top dog, an alpha dog, or just a grown man. And then when you walk around people, you see yourself as, okay, they walking around acting arrogant, think they better than me. Boom, boom. I'm just as good as them, and I can show them. Growing out of the underdog mindset, that's how we have to see things. We have to see people as just as I'm just as good as them. And of course, we have to put in their work behind the scenes to actually prove it. Showing up every day, what I'm gonna get to later. But having a more top dog, grown man mindset, you don't battle everybody. Somebody look at you wrong, somebody make a comment, it happens. You start doing good, people start hating, it happens. We always talk about how to respond to haters and all this. You don't have to respond to haters. You just look at them for who they are. They're your fans that's just a little bit obsessed with you. And I blow them off, right? That's how you have to treat haters. You don't indulge in the battles with them. You don't indulge in these arguments, because it's just setting you up to bring you down on their level. As a strong man with a top dog, alpha dog mindset, he sees that he has to conserve and reserve his energy for what's actually necessary for his strength, because it might be an easy battle. It's like you playing somebody on a video game and they just too easy. And after a while, you just get bored. And then you just want a better challenge. That's how strong men think. Like, okay, that's too easy. Like, can y'all bring me somebody that's going to actually make me stronger? Because as a strong man, we have to sharpen our tools. We have to sharpen our sword. The more we take on these small battles of people that's not really on our level, then they bring us lower. You're not performing how you used to perform. Now you're performing like that person. So you have to take on more worthy challenge because that's what's going to keep you sharp and keep you actually getting stronger. That's the way we have to think about it. Strong men understand that that's how they stay strong. Not by picking on the weak, beating up on the weak, but by taking on more worthy challenges. And we take on more worthy challenges just by knowing who we are. I know who I am. Like that's not me. I'm a worthy, powerful person. And that's where I would concern myself within that avenue. The need to prove yourself usually comes from doubting yourself. Number two, they protect their energy. You know what we just got through talking about. Not every challenge deserves a response. Every battle has a cost. You can win the battle and lose the war. You want to take on this person, prove something to that person, and then you don't even have the strength for what really matters. Basically, when you take on that battle, you're basically a weakling. You didn't gave out so much energy and emotion into these particular fields. So we have to, as a strong man, we have to choose those battles wisely. What's actually necessary? What's on my level? What's worth my strength? And focus on what's going to actually move me forward. What's actually going to be productive. It's all a powerful thing. We have to conserve the emotions as well. You know, we have dreams that we want to manifest in the world. And in order for those things to come into play, then we have to put our emotions into those things, into what's necessary. Think about this guy that runs track, right? Fast sprinter. There's a lot of guys in the neighborhood that think they faster than him. So what does he do? He goes out and he take on all these street races. The races don't mean nothing. They're just normal backyard races. You're racing this person, you're racing that person. It's a city championship coming up that he needs to be fully ready for. He needs to be at home resting, soaking up his muscles. This person is racing one guy on the basketball court. He's trying to show him how high he can jump. He in the backyard racing this guy to say they faster than him. Not even the same type of speed. This sprinter, he gets to the city championship. Basically injures himself because he put all his energy into all these particular little battles around him. That he pulls a muscle, you know, because he was training it like the night before. It was a whole year wasted. Now he has to go through the whole process again back in high school, but he can't waste this year because you only have that many years of high school. So you can set yourself up to get a scholarship, to go to college. And that's the same thing that strong men understand. And insecure men allow themselves to get sucked into. They allow themselves to get sucked into these little small battles, and then what really matters gets put on the wayside. It's just bad having your life, having things in the right priority. Strong men understand that they need to get rest. They can't always pull the big weapon out at the wrong time. They gotta, sharpen it up, let it rest. It'll be stronger. I'm gonna say that every unnecessary argument or battle, it steals energy from your actual purpose. Number three, I'm gonna say emotional control is real power. Anybody can react. We all have feelings. Sometimes things get to us and we want to say something, we want to explain ourselves, we want to prove something, we want to curse this person out or whatever. But we have to learn how to stay composed. Few people can stay composed. That's why when you start to get disciplined, you start to get more strength, you start to work on being composed. It's a task and a lot of people can't do it. Those are the actual leaders. The people that can control their emotions, stay composed, stay even keel, and just keep things in the right direction. That's where we have to be in order to be strong. Discipline and strength. When we allow people to get under our skin, make us talk too much, explain ourselves to people too much, when you can just let your actions speak. But you don't have to always explain yourself to people in general. They'll figure it out. It's not that necessary to always have to say a bunch of things to people. All they're doing is taking your power. And they're dangling you around like a puppet. People say things to you, you try to fight with these haters, they're just doing their job. They see you elevating and then, they feel insecure, now they have to say something to you, but you don't have to respond. If someone controls your emotions, they control your actions. Real strength is discipline, putting our emotions into the right necessary avenue and not just anything. Self control is the highest form of strength. Being disciplined is basically having self control. Like if you set a goal for something, then you have to control that. You have to control those emotions to actually do the work every day to hit those goals. When two fighters are in a fight together, self control is important. You can't just get emotional and just start brawling and wailing out. You leave your defenses wide open where the next fighter, the other fighter could just take punches at you because you're not in control. It's all about being logical, being strategic in order for you to build that strength and wait for the right moments to strike. But when you let someone get under your skin, you're basically giving the fight to them. You're basically playing their game. And they can sit back and they can pick you apart and read you. Just remember, when you're showing emotions, talking too much, reacting to everything, all you're doing is making yourself an open book for your enemies to know which way to strike you. And then it's basically a done deal once they figured you all out. So be careful with showing too much emotions. Move when it's necessary. Move when it's a worthy cause. The strongest man isn't the most aggressive, he's the most disciplined. Number 4, they earn respect instead of demanding respect. Respect can't be forced. We can go around acting all entitled and arrogant, but it's really a hollow shell of who you want to be. If you want more substance, then it's about putting in the work. It's about showing up every day. Think about the guys on like a football team. It's the people that come to practice every day. They show up in the game. They catch the touchdowns. They make the big tackles. They do what's told. Those are the guys you listen to. Those are the guys you look up to as leaders. It's not the guys that's forcing a fake image, a fake facade, that's acting tough. Toughness is not giving up. Toughness is not looking tough and acting tough. Toughness is showing up, persevering, showing real strength. And it speaks for itself because actions speak louder than words. Presence is more powerful than performance. These guys, they try to intimidate people. They try to force people to listen to them. But you have to build that rapport with the people around for them to know who you are, to really trust you, for a coach to really put their responsibility in your hands. You have to show them. You have to show up every day. And you don't even have to say nothing because your action's going to speak. The people around you, the fruit of your labor, it's going to be how people talk about you, how the people treat you, the things people say about you. And you don't even have to say a word. Like the fruits that you bear will do all the talking, will show the people around who you are as a person. Like we see the resume, we see the respect, we see the plaques on the wall, we see the certifications, we see the diplomas. Like we see you moving forward in life, and you don't have to say a word. Everything is showing around you. Number 5, I'm going to say their life speaks for them. Discipline shows before words do. Your body reflects your habits. So I was talking about your body is your resume. We see the 6-pack abs. We see you showing up every day, getting up 5 a.m. in the morning, doing your cardio, doing your push-ups, showing up to the gym every day. Even if we don't see it, the body will show it. A fat, out of shape guy is like talking about 6-pack abs and running a 4-4 or running a fast split in a 5K or things like that. The body will show it. The body will show it. There's no way the body won't show it. If the body don't show it, it's really some type of disease that you got, because it comes with the lifestyle. Guys go to the Army or the military, the Air Force. I don't know the details about all that, but from the getting up to the ROTC to the PT test and all those things, I didn't train guys that had to do a certain amount of push-ups within 2 minutes, I think, and then a certain amount of push-ups, and then they would have to run a 300. Some would have to run a mile and a half, things like that. The more they train for it, the better they get to actually pass those tests at the highest grade, the body actually shows it. You start seeing the cuts, you start seeing the veins, you start seeing the abs showing, you start seeing the muscles getting a little bigger, you start seeing the conditioning. Your life speaks for itself. That's what strong men do. Their life speaks for itself. The guy that walks in the room and walks into the room like Dwayne Johnson. He walks into the room with all the muscles. That's who we listen to. It's showing. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He most likely also has the personality, the habits, the dominant attitude. The more that we put that time and effort into our body or whatever, it comes with the territory. He has that toughness about him, because you don't achieve those successes without having a tough mindset. You know, their life speaks for itself. So that's my video for today. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the video. Hope I wasn't all over the place. I feel like I missed some things, but the more I do these videos, I'm gonna get more comfortable. So like and subscribe, and